So we'll take a look at I Want You, She's So Heavy. And you want to start off with the chord of D minor. And we're using something called broken chords, arpeggiation, if you want to call it that, or arpeggiated. So basically we're going to... You're going to go through each note one at a time. So we're starting off from the D string, playing a D minor. So make sure you go past the top E and come back down on it. You can see that. Next chord you need is a D minor / F. So basically we're just adding this note here, which is F. So you're going to do the same pick. And the next chord we're going to go to is this E7 flat 9. We're going to put the second finger on the D string on the second fret, and we're going to take away the third finger. We're going to leave the fourth finger where it is, but the first finger we're going to lay flat, so it's covering G, B and D at the first fret. It sounds like this. So for this chord you just want to basically just go up to the top E, and then this finger you have spare here, the third, is going to go onto the third fret of the A string. The second finger is going to move on to the second fret of the A string, and then you're going to put the first on, and you're going to put a B flat 7. Once again, it's going to pick the root, but it's going to go again to G, B, E. Then it's going to go to A augmented. So we're going to put this. Just going to step up from the fifth augmented. I believe it was one of those chords that was banned in the medieval ages. So we're going to go for one of those, but we don't need to cover the D string because we're not picking on the D string. We're just going to pick the A string to the G, B, E. So we'll go through the chords again. So it's a D minor, to the D minor / F, to that E7 flat 9, run down on the A string to the B flat 7, then to that A augmented, so once you're happy with that, move on to the next section, and that's going to be A minor pentatonic. So we'll be on 5th fret, and so if you know your scale, great. If not, it's a good one, so you should get to grips with it. We'll go from 5th fret to the 8th on the low E. We'll go from 5th to 7th on the A, 5th to 7th on the D and the G, 5th to 8th on the B, and 5th to 8th on the top E. So we're going to concentrate mainly on D and G for most of this section. So you find what it tends to do, especially in the beginning, it tends to go back home. So it heads back towards root. So our root's going to be here on the E string, here on the D, and here on the top E. So it's you can end up going back to one of those, and it normally sounds pretty cool at the end of a phrase. Obviously you don't have to, but this seems to start off with. So we've got so you could achieve the same thing by going down to third on the A. But to be honest, if you listen to it, it sounds like it goes to a different string. So then you repeat the same pattern, but on the 10th fret. So now we're in D. So it's going to be a D minor pentatonic. On this section, you can pick the G and B and do a little vibrato. So you do a little chromatic lead, go from 10 to 12 on the A, and pick the E open. So this is where we're going to reprise that E7 flat 9 chord. So a good way of getting to it in this second place we're going to play it, if you're used to a C7 chord shape, which a lot of people are, we know that the root is going to be here on the 3rd for the C. So if we slide it up to the 5th, then it's a D7. To the 7th, it's going to be E. So a nice way of getting around this is to move that up just by the 1. So this is on the B string. So once you're happy with that, you can perhaps try fingering it by using 2nd first in that position, and then you can put the 3rd and 4th across to there. You'll find it a little bit of practice, it sort of comes pretty quick. So then it's either going to go back to the next section of the chords, or else it's going to go up to the so there's additional little bits and bobs which you can add. So you could either go do it there, or you could start it on the 5th of the A string, but then you can actually pick G and B and try just stretching the notes up a little bit. So on this bit, you can always add the bass line, which is so for the most part it's just going open A up to the 7th, onto the A, back down to the 5th, and then back down onto the 7th on the E. There's another bit where it does a hammer on, just for the one time towards the end. And the only other part I'd probably pick out would be it seems to be a little bit that George adds, which is just going from here 7th on the B to 5th with a little pull off from 5th to 3rd onto the 5th on G. And so you just sort of carry on back into that arpeggiation, and hopefully that should get you through I Want You, She's So Heavy. Cool. Thanks for watching. Take care.